Welcome back. This video is to describe how to draw a sketching title block for an A-size sheet in a landscape orientation. So earlier I demonstrated how to draw straight lines using the edge of the paper. So I'm going to use that technique and I'm going to draw a border around the edge of the paper. So I'm using the edge of my drawing board and I'm using that technique of following the edge with my finger while I'm holding the pencil, and I'm drawing a border around the edge. Now, if you're not comfortable with this and you want to draw a straight line, just following the edge of the paper, remember I talked about a parallel line, you can do that. And so remember I said that anybody can draw a straight line if they can drive. So what I'm going to do is I want you to follow or draw another line down here at the bottom. And what that line is going to be used for is what we call a title block. So right now I have what's called a border line. And I'm going to draw another line down here and call it a title block. So if you can follow another line and stay parallel to another line, just like you drive, you can draw a straight line. And your comment is to me, if you don't like the way I drive, stay off the sidewalk. So we're going to write in some notes on this page. The first thing I want you to write up here, remember architectural font is the word borderline. And I want you to notate that with an arrow. And then another arrow is going to be kind of a squiggly like that. So we know that that's a borderline. And I put that in the upper right-hand corner. Okay. At the bottom of this page, we're going to draw what's called a title block. And we're going to put in some boxes for that title block. In the lower right-hand corner, I want you to make a box. So draw a straight line that makes a box. I want you to write the word page on the top of that. Okay. The next box that we are going to make is approximately 3 times as wide as that one. So about 3 times as wide. And for that, we're going to write in the date. Okay? With this remaining space, divide that into thirds. Using my fingers here to divide this into thirds. I'm going to draw a couple of vertical lines to divide that into thirds. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we are going to draw some balloons. And balloons are going to be like a detail that will show what there's in these boxes. About the middle of the page right here, I want you to write your name. Just go ahead and write in the words your name. I want you to sketch a box around that. Now I sketched that box with one continuous line. I made the curves rounded, or the corners rounded. And then I want you to take an arrow and point right down to that box. And now I want you to put your name in here. If you have a longer name, I want you to put double layers in here. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to write in my first name, architectural font, and below that my last name. Okay? So I've stacked the letters in here. You have to adjust. Adjust for how tall you've made the title block. The next box I want you to do here is put the project title below that, or unit title. Let's draw another box around there. Let's try to make that box as square as we can, but having rounded corners. That is this box right here. So what I want you to write in here is sketching. And unit 1. Below this, I want you to write the page title. And then below that, I want you to write the word scale. Now, let's go ahead and try to draw a box around this, a square. I'm getting better. Hopefully you are too. And I'm going to draw an arrow that points to that box. We're going to give this page a title. We're going to call it landscape. And the scale, we're going to say that's full. Full scale. So I've filled up about half the page. I'm going to write the word date. And below that, I'm going to write 1-21-21. Yep, I'm making this video on the night that the Zoom meeting did not work. Mr. Bichet has unreliable Wi-Fi. So let's go ahead and write in the date tonight as 1-21-21. Notice I put a dash here, a dash down here and a slash there. Either way is fine. Either way is fine. Now this page number over here, we're going to write this down. I'm going to use this area here. I want you to write the word page. And then I want you to write below that in smaller letters, page number. Whoops. You can't even spell number. And then a diagonal line, and above that is going to be number of pages. Draw a box around that. So if you have a multi-page assignment, it might be page 1 of 50. So you'd have a number 1 here and a 50 below that. Now, for this, let's draw an arrow. For this assignment, I'm going to tell you that this is page 2-A. Okay. I'm going to zoom out here just a bit. So what this page represents, this is how you would draw a sketching title block, A, in a landscape orientation. So up here we're going to put a title on this drawing here. We're going to put this as sketching, architectural font, title block A. And then a dash, and I'm going to say landscape. Put a little squiggly line under it, like that. Now I will tell you that anything inside the border is what we call the working space. And I'm going to put 2 words here like this. I'm going to use a couple lines. I'm going to use a little squiggly line here. I'm going to draw a little arrow, a little cool arrow, and a squiggly line here. So anytime you have to do a sketch where it requires a landscape orientation, this is where you put your name, the unit you're working in, the title of the unit, title of the page, the scale, the date, and then a page number.